Hi, online family. John, can you hear me now? I had the microphone muted while I was getting people checked in. Awesome, thank you. In studio, we are using all the goodies. So we've got blocks, we've got straps, we've got bolsters, we've got sandbags. So whatever you have in your home studio, we'll make it work. And we'll get started in just 1 second, and I'll re-unmute when we get started. All right, y'all. Happy Thursday. Happy Friday Eve. So it's so funny. I taught class on Sunday morning, which I hadn't done in a while. And I said, Happy Friday Eve, everybody. And now I'm looking at y'all going, what day is it? I have no idea. My name is Jess. I do know this is 1 hour of yen, and I'm so happy you're here. We are going to start in supported child's pose. So grab your bolster, put your drool towel on top of it. Big toes touch, knees go wide, and pull your bolster all the way back to you. My bolster is invisible right now. And then bring your body down on it. Family at home, I'm going to adjust the camera angle so you can see the class. There we go. And family in the studio, the lights will continue to go down as everyone gets settled. So if it feels a little bright still, it won't much longer. I'm just double checking. Allison D, did you make it? How about Chatty?
Yes, here.
Thank you. We only have one ghost tonight then. Perfect. If you haven't yet, y'all take a big breath in. And a slow breath out. Do that again. Take a big breath in. Slow breath out. One more time, because good things come in threes. Inhale. And exhale. And you can take one of those cleansing, clearing breaths as many times as you need tonight, even if I'm not cueing it. This hour is for you. This practice is for you. And in studio family, I'm going to come around and put some sandbags on you. They deepen the sensation of the shape, the asana, a little grounding sensation. If you decide that you don't want a sandbag on your back, let me know so I can help you take it off. Some of these sandbags weigh up to 12 pounds, and your rotator cuff of your shoulder is not meant to reach around and fish for that. And if you're new to the yin practice or it's been a minute, the name of the game is long, low, and slow. So we're going to hold the poses for a long time, anywhere between 3 and 8 minutes. You don't have to worry about a timer. I gotcha. We're going to stay pretty low to the ground. And I'm going to ask that your breath be as slow as possible. So you're really taking your time to savor your inhale and savor your exhale. Long, low, and slow. And if you've had the same cheek down this whole time, maybe switch. Now that you've physically been in this shape for several minutes, take a scan over your body. Is there anywhere you could soften just a smidge more? Hey, Katie, we're in supported child's pose still, so glad you made it. Do you want sandbags? No, thank you. Okay. And as we stay here for one last minute, acknowledge that your body has arrived. And now, with the time and space you gave yourself, hopefully your mind has arrived. Your heart has arrived. Your soul has arrived. Full integration of all of the beautiful elements that comprise you. Body, mind, heart, and soul. Big breath in. Take your time, breath out. And in. And out. Last one here, fill up. Maybe you part your lips, let it go. And then as you sit up into rock pose, I mean sitting back onto your heels, your sandbag will just fall off, so gravity's going to take it off for you. Go ahead and move your bolster out of the way. Grab your blocks, bring them up towards the front of your mat. And we'll get back around to them in a minute. Cool. Once you're organized, all fours tabletop. Let's reawaken your spine after that long hold. So drop your belly, broaden your heart, lift your chin. That's cow. Press the earth away. Tuck your chin. Round through the back of your t-shirt. That's cat. And take a few passes like that, forward and back. And just like your breath is slow, let your movement here be slow. Giving yourself time to be in the in-between spaces. physically in between the vertebra of your spine. Energetically in between your inhale and your exhale. Stick with classic cat and cow, or if you want side body movement, look over one shoulder towards the hip. You have a second shoulder and a second hip. So that's 4 different directions now. Your spine's really cool. It can actually move in 6 different directions. The only joint in your body that can do that. Technically, your spine is a series of little micro joints, all of your vertebrae stacked together. If you want something even more dynamic here this evening, hip circles. Walk your hands a few inches forward. Give yourself space to move. If it feels comfortable, close your eyes. Don't worry about what it looks like. Just be present as much as you can physically in your body. Putting your mind on your body, and the heart and soul will follow. Maybe there'll be some Rice Krispie treats along the way. I heard that. That reference isn't going to work much longer. They don't do the Snap, Crackle, Pop commercials anymore, do they? No. Okay, that's how old I am. I'll be quiet. A couple more breaths here. If you're doing hip circles and you haven't changed directions, switch it up soon. And then come back to neutral tabletop. Grab your blocks and step your foot that's closest to the yellow sunshine wall up in between your hands. My friends on the yellow sunshine wall, let's all pick the back blue wall, if that's not confusing enough. Yep. Perfect. We're going to keep that movement going here. So inhale, sink deep into your lunge. Maybe you lift your chest, lift your chin. Exhale, press back into half flying monkey split. And you'll find some sort of halfway for your blocks. I have long arms and short legs, so I can leave my blocks in one place, but that's not true if you're not a rectangle, like my body type. Good. Couple more passes here. And then next time you're forward in the low lunge, stay there. Hand on the block for stability, on the block that's closest to your front foot. The other arm's going to go up and over. So this is a big side body stretch. And you might feel action through the front of your quad, through your psoas. That's that deep muscle that runs behind your hip bone, all the way up and over into your ribs. Good. Big breath here. A little weird and wobbly. It'll be okay, I promise. You're gonna shift back into the half flying monkey split. Other hand on the block, up and over. Holy IT band. Yeah, maybe. It's where I feel it. Every body is different. And if you really want to feel some sensation, flex your toes back towards your shin. More is not better, by the way. So if I say you want to feel more sensation, you might say, no, Jess, I don't want to feel more. And that's totally fine. So do the opposite. Don't flex your foot. All right, then we're going to get weird with it. Inhale forward into the side stretch. Exhale back into the split, switch hands. Sounds more complicated than it is. You're just flowing back and forth, adding the one-armed variation. Couple more passes. Good. Really lovely breath, everybody. And then next time you're forward in the low lunge, stay. Both hands come to the earth, so ditch your block for a second. Low runner's lunge. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Wide legs forward fold. Walk your fingers to the long edge of your mat. Your front foot will pivot and follow. And now you know why I wanted you to know your neighbors' names. It's not weird. Drop your head. We're going to be here for a little bit. So if the back of your hamstrings are screaming at you, first of all, soften your knees a little bit. Bend your knees. Yeah, good. And then if they're still screaming at you, make your stance shorter. That means bring your feet closer to each other. And then I'm going to come around and put sandbags on your feet. There are more of you than there are me. So if you want to drag them onto your own feet, you're more than welcome to. You won't hurt my feelings, but I am coming around to help. Sometimes your sandbag is in an impossible place. So I gotcha. Oh, wait, is that okay on your foot? Okay. Yeah, and then once you're stable here, really drop in. So this pose is about the back of your leg. Excuse me, it's not about the back of your legs. It's about your spine. The back of your legs will be loud and chatter and distract. But we're actually decompressing the spine here. So we will be in this one for a little while, not a full 8 minutes though. So drop your head as much as you can. Once again, slow down your breath. And this is an inversion. There's that saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. An inversion a day is just as good. Okay, I fibbed a little bit. An inversion is not going to help you with your fiber intake, right? That's the point of eating an apple. But we're lengthening your spine, taking pressure out of your low back. And you are creating some length in your hamstrings as well, even though that's not our primary focus here. There's no exit quiz, by the way. So if you forget all of my trivia, that's totally fine. I'll be quiet. You breathe. We've got about a minute and a half left here. Yes, you can. Big breath in. Slow breath out. Twice more. Fill up and out. Last one. Fill up. Let something go. Little halfway lift. Walk your fingers back towards the front of your mat. And we're actually going to come into lizard lunge. So walk your fingers back around, that same foot still forward. I know there's sandbags on your feet. You'll figure it out. And I've grabbed my bolster and brought it in front of me. So lizard lunge means your foot kind of walks off the front of your mat. Back knee is down. And then you can come down onto your bolster. You can also do a little fort work here and put your blocks down and then put your bolster on top. Ooh, yeah, that's yummy. You haven't done that in a while. And we won't be in this lizard for more than 2 minutes. I know sometimes you guys like want to camp out in lizard forever. Some of you sleep like this, I know. I'm not one of those people, but I know I see you. Yeah. So get supported, get comfy, knowing we'll only be here for just 2 minutes. Let's do a double decker. So, yep, perfect. Big breath. I'm going to try a double decker. Yeah. There you go. Reed, do you want to? Mm-hmm. Slow down your breath. Three more precious moments here. Yes, you can. On your next inhale, walk yourself back up to your palms if you weren't there. Maybe bend and straighten a few times in your front leg. Mm-hmm. And then by any means necessary, find yourself back to all fours tabletop. You can move your bolster out of the way for a moment. And then same, but different, y'all. We're going to go down onto the forearms. So this is cat and cow, but from forearm. So it's going to feel a little bit different. The concept is the same though. You're still thinking about dropping your belly, lifting your chest, lifting your chin when you're in cow, and then pressing the earth away, rounding, tucking when you're in cat. Your range of movement might feel a little bit different, especially if you've had tight shoulders recently. Your lever is shorter, right? You don't have your whole arm down. Now you only have your femur there. That's not your femur. It's the equivalency to your femur that suddenly does not exist in my brain what that word is. I'll think of it before class is over. Don't worry. Couple more passes. And then super weird. Can you do the lateral movement here? So looking over one shoulder towards the hip, another shoulder towards the hip. Could you walk your elbows a couple inches forward and do some version of hip circles here? And notice I am posing these as questions for a reason. If you move into these shapes and your shoulders say no thank you, then either back out or come back onto your palms. We're just exploring something different. Part of the methodology of all yoga classes is to ask your body to do something different than it does the rest of the day. We call that disrupting the drift. If you're doing those circles, switch it up. Two more breaths wherever you are. And then come back to neutral. Walk yourself up onto your palms. And we're going to move into the flowing lunge on the other side. So foot closest to the front door if you're in the front rows, and closest to the bathroom if you're on the yellow wall. Hands are elevated on blocks, and when you feel ready, inhale sinks you deep into your front knee. Maybe you lift your chest and chin. Exhale back into the split. And you'll find that nice happy medium for where your blocks should physically be, so you can move forward and back. Next time you're forward in the low lunge, the hand closest to your foot stays on the block. Opposite arm comes up and over, a little side body stretch. Sink back into the split, switch hands. I brought my block way back here with me so I can lean up and over. Am I the only person that feels that in my IT band, or are you also tortured along with me? No, okay, like two. Okay, maybe it's just me. All right, then we're gonna flow forward and back. So inhale forward, add the arm. Exhale back, switch arms. Move slow. You don't have to go as fast as my mouth is. If you find something interesting and you want to stay for a couple breaths, please do. 2 more passes. All right, next time you're in the front lunge, stay there. Both arms come onto the ground, finding that runner's lunge again. So back toes tuck, back knee lifts. Same thing, but different. This time, get really light on your back foot, and you're gonna step it up so you're in about a hip width distance forward fold here. Most of you left a sandbag towards the front of your mat. So if you wanna grab it and dangle with it, like you're cradling like a little baby or something, that feels really yummy, adding some extra traction. If that feels distracting to you and you don't want to do it, don't worry about it. Yeah, I kind of grab my opposite elbows and then drape the sandbag over my forearms. So actually never hold a baby like that. It just feels like you're rocking it, right? But I don't think that's appropriate. Three more breaths. For these last 2 breaths, bend your knees a little bit more, drop your head. Yes. And if you're still holding your sandbag, baby, put it down. And in a moment, we're going to rise up to standing, and you are going to use your strap. So if you want to fish around for it while you're folded, do that and then come on up. If you don't have a strap, just look at me really sad, and I've got some for you. Then you strap. Good. Oh, thanks, Elise. I got it. Did you need one? Everybody got one? Okay. So we're going to do some shoulder work here. So stagger with your neighbor. In cheerleading, we used to say hit a tee, not a friend. So stagger with your neighbor so you're not going to hit your friend. Widen your stance a little bit. So I'm just beyond hip width distance. And then I have a super long strap. I just lucked into that one. So I've got my strap folded in half. I'm going to grab my strap. Arms are straight out in front of me. I've got tension across my strap. And my hands are about 6 inches beyond the widest part of my thighs. Yeah. So adjust accordingly. Cool. Roll your shoulders up, down, and back. This is your neutral, like mountain pose. Big breath in. Stay here, breath out. You're going to add a little bit of movement. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Just like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Twice more. Lower. Last one like this. And lower. All right, we're going to get into a little bit more of your range of motion. So inhale, lift. Exhale, extend. So I'm bringing the strap back behind me, really puffing up my chest. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhale, lower. We'll get that breath right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, extend. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, lower. Just like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And lower. Twice more. Lower. Last time. Inhale. Extend. Neutral. And lower. Inhale just to neutral. Exhale, lean over to one side. This is that extended palm tree. Some of you were here last week when we made this up. So my bottom hand, I'm really pulling down, like gently, but I'm intentionally pulling down on the strap. And my opposite foot, I've stamped into the mat. So you're creating a big C shape here. Mm-hmm. Inhale back to neutral. Other side. So pull down with the bottom hand, stamp down through the opposite foot for stability. Breathe. Neutral. One more time each side. Neutral. Last side. Inhale back to neutral and let it go. All right, we're gonna do one more thing with the strap. I'm gonna turn around. So I'm gonna grab my strap behind me and I'm gonna shorten the distance between my hands. So my knuckles are touching the back of my butt. I'm not touching your butt, I'm touching my butt. All right, cool. From here, go slow. You're gonna bend your knees and then hinge forward and your strap goes up and over. And if you need to slide your hands further apart once you're hinged to give a little bit more space in your shoulders, do that. We won't be here too long. Good. Breathe. Gently release your strap. Bend your knees enough to put your fingers on the earth and step down, all fours tabletop. And back to child's pose. With or without the bolster, your choice. As you take a few breaths here, start to offer yourself some gratitude, some thanks for this hour to spend on you. To invest in this time to integrate your body and your mind, your heart and your soul. If you need to switch cheeks, you've got a couple more breaths here. If you're not on the bolster and you want to walk your hands to one side of the mat, you still have time. It's lateral side body stretch in child's pose. It's hard to do if you're on a bolster. And my friends in side body stretch, switch. Come back to center if you're not there. And then once again, everybody sit up onto your feet for rock pose. All right, we're moving into our pose of the month, which is puppy pose or melting heart pose. If you already know it and you want to move into it, awesome. I'm going to demo 3 variations, and I'm going to start with the least amount of props. So this would be unsupported. From all fours tabletop, my hips are going to stay high over my knees. I'm going to walk my hands forward. I'm going to lower my chest and chin towards the mat. Now, some folks can take a cheek here. My neck does not like that. So I leave my chin down personally. So that's option 1. That's also typically the most intense. Option 2 is with blocks. So I'm going to put, the blocks under my elbows, and I'm going to lower down. Apparently, I don't know how long my arms are today. So play around with that. You can also do prayer hands here. The last option is with the bolster. Similar idea to the blocks though. So you'll put your forearms on the bolster and you'll lower your chest down towards the earth. My chest is not touching the floor here, but that's the most gentle on the shoulder joints. So decide where you are and how your body's feeling tonight for puppy pose, melting heart pose. And maybe you move into one variation and say, nope, that's not going to work for holding for 3 to 4 minutes, and you switch. The key though is your hips stay high. So your booty's high in the air, your arms are out long in front of you, like a puppy waking up and taking a big stretch after a nap. This pose is really intense for most human beings. You might find that your breath has gotten a little bit shorter if it feels really intense in your body. That's normal. See if you can slow your breath back down. And what that does is it tells your parasympathetic nervous system that this shape is okay, that you're doing this on purpose. Because leading your life with an open heart, letting your heart melt forward and lead the way, it's hard. And it can be scary. So we train that body-mind connection here so we can do the hard, scary stuff out there. Last minute, family. Yes, you can. It's 5 breaths. Long, low, and slow for 3. 2. Last one, big breath in. Stay here, let it go. And there's no good way out of this one. Maybe you sink your hips back for child's pose again. Maybe you slither onto your belly. Maybe you do something I didn't say because it's tricky no matter which way you go. Just let yourself ease out and take a couple breaths in stillness. It's your humerus. It's bothering me. I had to Google it. Humerus is the upper arm bone. So everybody, wherever you've landed, come on up to sit in rock pose one more time. We're going to stay here this time for a few breaths. So if you need to put a bolster or a block between your feet to take some pressure out of your knees, do that. And then gentle, we've done a lot of upper body stuff. Draw your arm across. So you've got your humerus here. I should know that. It's like a Halloween joke, right? I find this humorous and the dog's carrying around the, okay. Too soon. It's only July. And that arm that's across your chest, bring it around back, pat yourself on the back. See if your fingers touch, doesn't matter if they do. If they don't back there, grab a towel and drape it down your back, or you could use your strap again. So I'm holding on to the towel in between my hands back there. And if rock pose is not sustainable for you, you could always do this in crisscross applesauce, just any easy seat. Couple more breaths. Gently let that go. Roll your shoulders a couple times, big circles. And then other side, when you're ready, opposite arm comes across, humerus across your chest. Release. The arm that was in front of your chest comes around back. Grab a strap, a towel, or your fingers back there. Good. Two more breaths. And gently release. Come forward, tap out your toes. And then we're going to do one more seated thing here. So either come back into rock pose, or if you need to switch into Sukhasana, crisscross applesauce, do that. Super simple. Drop one ear towards the shoulder. Chin to chest, and then other ear, other shoulder. Chin to chest, ear to shoulder. One more time, switch. Now you've got these little half moons to go back and forth. So I'm going shoulder to shoulder. Okay, listen, if that feels okay and you want to get a little adventurous, next time you're at one shoulder, you're going to lift your chin to the ceiling and then the other shoulder. Chin to the ceiling and then other shoulder. So little half moons on the back half. Then if that feels okay, super, super slow all the way around. And this is where my Rice Krispies are. I don't know if you can hear it in yours as well. All those little connective muscles and ligaments. Switch directions if you're doing the full circles. And then come back to neutral. Couple breaths here, really tall heart. All right, I don't have a creative transition for you. We're going to meet on our backs, and my friends that are against a wall, your head will go towards the center of the room. So meet on your back, head towards the center of the room. And when you get there, if you want to hug your knees in, immediately rock and roll or take happy baby, whatever you're craving works. And everybody take both feet up to the sky. Point, flex your toes, or your ankles rather. If you can point and flex each individual toe, that's really cool. Theoretically you could, but super hard to do. And then spread your toes, even if you have socks on, spread them wide like you could see light between all 10 little pigs. And gently release your feet back down to the earth. I don't usually say lefts and rights, but for ease, we're going to use directions. So cross your right ankle over your opposite knee. So this is reclined pigeon. You can keep it just like this or hug your knees in for a couple breaths, up to you. Yeah, bottom foot is planted on the floor or floating now because you've hugged in. Anybody have an 8:30 dinner reservation? Do you mind if we have a few extra minutes of class tonight? Perfect. Gently return your foot to the earth if it's floating. Your whole leg package, now you're going to drop it over to the left. So that floating foot's going to touch the floor. Yep. So your legs are still in that figure 4 shape and you're bringing the sole of your right foot down onto the floor. Yes. So it's like a funky deep hip twist. Use your next inhale to come back to center. And that whole leg package now goes to the other side. So it's a big open hipped twist. You're still in a figure 4 shape. Drop your legs to the other side. Yes. Now, if that feels like a lot on your knee, you can slide your foot onto the floor. That hooked right foot could come off your kneecap and onto the floor instead. This is a pretty big quad stretch for some humans. Inhale back to center. And switch legs. So other foot hooks. Start here with reclined pigeon. So your foot either stays on the floor or you hug your whole leg package in, up to you. Mm-hmm. If you hugged your legs in, return your foot back to the floor. You're still in figure 4 shape. Drop the whole thing over to the right. So the sole of your left foot touches the floor. Mm-hmm. So it's that funky hip twist. Next, inhale comes back to center. And drop your whole leg package the other side. So it's that open figure 4 twist. If this is too much on your knee or your quad, slide that top foot off and onto the floor. Inhale back to center. Release both legs long. Give them a little shake, shake. And just like that, family, Shavasana has arrived. So if you want a little bit more heart opening, you're going to do supported fish with the bolster underneath your spine, parallel the long way. If you want to be gentle on your low back and legs, a bolster under the knees is delicious. Classic Shavasana is always perfect. And if your sandbags are within reach, one could go low across your hips like a seatbelt. These are self-placement sandbags. You could do a second one across your chest, like pec to pec across your chest. Let's see, there's one down here. I think that's what you're maybe looking for. Yeah, I don't know. The other one's wandered off in the dark. Here it is, right there. And then once you're settled, family, take a big breath in and out. Enjoy your rest. I'll bring you back when it's time. Notice your next inhale and exhale. Bring some awareness back to your fingers and your toes, to your wrists and ankles. Aware of your surroundings. Take a full body stretch. And gently roll off any props onto your right side, fetal pose. Take this moment, this sacred pause, to once again offer yourself some gratitude for showing up, for spending time integrating your body and your mind, your heart and your soul. It's not easy work, but it matters because you matter. When you are ready, come on up, Sukhasana, easy seat. We'll seal practice tonight with the sound of Om. So place your hands somewhere meaningful. And take a big breath in. Thank you, family. I've kept you terribly late. Enjoy your evening. If you did have a dinner reservation, please leave your things and I'll put them away for you. Online family, thank you. You all stayed as well. So good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. In studio family, I'm going to turn the lights up. It will be terrible. You have been